So it seems to be like somebody's been playing me for a chump. Because somebody's got this to the point where they're acting like somebody else. And they're putting more than one person on here to make me think that I'm talking to someone else. And then possibly I lost her to someone else. And that I'm just too naive or gullible to see it. And that's fine. I don't mind a bit. Because I'll be staying here and getting my shit together. And the right woman is out there for me. And looking and seeing Penticton and seeing that I could go out there if I wanted, but realizing that anything could happen while I'm there, and I've already spent enough time on the streets in Penticton, and there's enough crazy people to make me realize that here is rather more preferable for me, at least for the time being anyway. But I'm not going out there with a whole bunch of variables and a whole bunch of unknowns and a whole bunch of non-discriminate or very discriminate behavior, and a lot of it aimed towards me in a not very nice way. So I feel like staying out here would be the right move. And again, if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that I am, and I probably am because this is all aimed at getting me to stay here, so I won't go to Penticton to begin with, because as somebody said, if I go to Penticton, I might die. So somebody said Penticton, somebody said go to Penticton, somebody said no, don't go to Penticton, don't listen to what you say, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck either way. Always unlucky in love, I suppose, especially where women who think abuse is a positive reinforcement and good attention to continue receiving, which is completely fine with me, but wanting to see if I had a bit of masculinity hidden away somewhere so that I could hit the door very quickly after this shit continues for another extended period of time. And telling Desiree today that she was hot shit. I meant it, every word. But it's obviously something she's been waiting to hear and has wanted to hear for quite some time. And then to find out that I have been screwed over, possibly again. What can you do? I wouldn't say I'm a bad guy. And it could easily be. That she left some time ago. And all this was just this kind of halfway saved me from disgrace and humiliation. And halfway showed me the error of my ways. But when a woman says one thing and does another, I mean, nothing new there, right? But when a man in your life, a friend, I should say, makes the appropriate moves to dissuade and to deceive you and to be deceptive, that's something else totally and entirely, especially when they're trying to mask who they are as a person and utilize you in order to do it, because theirs has already been taken by another and their dignity has already been taken by another as well. But then to look behind you and say you need help becomes somewhat of an act of redundancy, because in point of fact they are the ones that need help, and they are drinking to numb their feelings and to numb who they are as a person, having gotten together with someone else in here to completely discombobulate this whole situation. And as I was told earlier, consequences are consequences. But you never mistreat a masochist, which leads me to believe that this whole thing has been about me coming to my senses and realizing that there are greener pastures elsewhere. But again, why should I bother with this situation any further? Because quite obviously someone got some inside information from someone else. This all started with Angel and various and sundry posts that had happened online. And then it carried on through various other and sundry people that were in here, being started by one in particular person that has self-admitted to me that she's very sort of cruel and needs, I guess, a mask in order to fully function in proper society without having a nervous breakdown, and wanting to copy me somewhat so that she can re-enter society at a furious pace. See, these are all various and sundry circumstances and possibilities. Personally, I don't give a fuck either way, because I know what I'm capable of, and because I know my worth, and because I know I will find a woman in my life that appreciates me for who I am, because I have a lot of positive attributes and a lot of good things to offer a relationship of any sort. And like I said, there are certain women that refuse to take, heed to that because they want to believe that I am evil or horrible. Or maybe it's to my own detriment that I think that way because they don't want to bring up anything from the past. And one person gets together with another person and they all start bitching and whining and moaning about how evil and arrogant I am, and about how egotistical I am, and about how it's time to show me the error of my ways, and to get some kind of leverage in saying that you can't be filming the cops, and you can't be doing this, and you can't be doing that. And if he does do that, let's fuck him over. And let's make him feel copious amounts of pain, knowing full well that this whole situation would not be feasible had I not let myself become vulnerable and show who I truly was on camera, which is why you never show weakness, particularly in a situation like this, otherwise it will be taken advantage of in spades. And I miss her, and she wasn't taking advantage of me at all, and neither was the other. But unfortunately, they have very different values than I do, and very different priorities. My top 3 priorities are money, not power, but money, sustainable employment, and a good education. So you got to ask yourself who has maturity in this situation and who is terminally lacking in maturity in this situation. And why would somebody want me to go to Penticton if not to get me hurt or get me harmed in any way, shape, or form? That could easily be one option. Or maybe they're just thinking that that's one option, or maybe they're just wanting me to think that that's one option so I can be put in a position where I'm going to get harmed in some sort of irrevocable fashion. Or somebody that thinks they're a bit higher up does not want me to be in Penticton whatsoever, due to the fact that I will get fucking a swift ass whipping again. of all the women in my life and men that got me to this point, I feel like there was a woman a little while ago that was screaming at the top of her furry lungs, this isn't going to happen. And I wonder if she had something to do with it. Was sabotaging this whole main event. If it was even real and if it was even feasible. But someone had to have given this information forth to certain other individuals, which makes it so that it was probably feasible at some point. Mind you, this whole thing could have been an act of teaching me about my arrogance. Which, try as I may and try as I might, I still to this day don't understand why or how people can see me as an arrogant human being. But again, that's just me, right? So, the question then becomes, if somebody's trying to play me for a fool and work this so that I don't have very many options left at my disposal, or work this so that the good ones, the ones that I like, get taken away from me forthwith and very quickly, what's left? What is left? Well, I could say that getting out of here would be a correct course of action, but obviously I need a place to stay until everything gets stable and this job comes into fruition and things to that nature. And then somebody playing games and thinking that they can institute their friend into this equation, and then lo and behold be shocked as it turns out that I develop and have feelings for that said friend. To the point where they find themselves getting a tad bit resentful. And then this particular person gets on here and says that he doesn't know this or he doesn't know that, but I've been leading him down the garden path. The only thing is that I haven't been leading him down the path because she wants me to stay here put. Whereas I will be someone that he can take advantage of and feed off of in order to continue living in his own fantasy world of everything is fine and I have absolutely no issues or no problems whatsoever. And drinking to numb his pain and everything else that comes up and occurs. Along with narcissistic issues and various and sundry antisocial issues and things like that, whereas he needs company, companionship, and the hand of the people that are in here, whereas I do not. And since he thinks that I have no need of certain things that are in my possession, he thinks that that is his right to come and take them. When in fact that is not exactly how this works.